What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Wakefield FC Road to Glory. So as we saw in last episode, we were able to overcome the odds and advance through the championship playoffs to become a Premier League team. So we've already taken massive steps going from League 2 to the Premier League in just 3 seasons. This is all being done through Sim, and it's on Legendary as well. So let's go take a look at the team that's got us from basically League 2. Obviously there's been changes, but from League 2 to the Premiership right now. So this is basically the team that's unchanged from the last game of the season. And we're all in the 70s, which is good. But at the same time, this team will probably struggle against any Premier League team. So with the exceptions of Mings, Winks, and Burke and Bradley, like there could be improvements on basically every position, but the one we think the one I think we got to target for the transfer window is right back. Jamie Sterry is capped at 68, and we don't really have a replacement at the moment. We do have a right back in the youth academy right now, which we probably will promote very shortly, but at the same time, I believe he's a 67 rated right back as well, so we still need something better for the moment. So I think the target will be right back for this transfer window, maybe an extra keeper, but Theo Rogers over here might be poised and primed to take the keeper position away from our captain Nyland, who's been fantastic for 3 seasons. The other thing we have to look at is Nilos Kaya. I mean, he's been playing really well. He had a crazy high potential when we first started this road to glory, but now his development seems to have capped at 76, which is a lot lower than I originally thought. So maybe we'll look to sell Kaya out, because we have 2 other youngsters here in Wilkinson and McAtee who could basically slot it at the moment right now for Kaya. So we'll have to see. We're going to try to send some guys out on loan as well. But this team will probably change before we start this season. Let's go take a look at the board objectives. Here are the board objectives for our first season in the Premier League. Youth development, it's a long-term goal, which is good. Sign 4 youth players, okay, which we always plan to do. We have 2 ready to go right now, so that's good, and get them into 20 matches either as subs or starting lineup. So we'll see if we can get that done. That might be a bit difficult. Brand exposure, get a streak of 5 clean sheets in home matches. Hopefully we can do that. Sign 1 young player. When we promote, that should be accomplished when we promote one of the 2 guys in the youth academy. Domestic success, avoid relegation. That seems fair. And as always, reach the round of 16 in the FA Cup. And then within 2 seasons, finish mid-table. Okay, I mean, that's pretty fair. Financial. Okay, so that we got that goal wasn't completed last season. Now we just start with it completed this year. And then we still have still to make £4.3 million from youth players, and maybe we can get that from Kaya this season. But again, pretty fair board objectives if you ask me. So taking a look at the youth academy, here are the guys that thankfully held off. Diogo Cabral, I'm trying to switch him over to a left wing because his passing isn't the best at the moment, and one of his best passing sets I believe is crossing. So we'll try to switch him over, and because we already have 3 attacking midfielders at the moment. And Pedro Lima, he's the right back we were talking about. So he's got good physical and pace for a 17-year-old. So I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to give the first month of Sims or whatever before I promote them. But these guys will be joining our team very, very shortly. Here's a look at the calendar. We got the month of July, the friendly tournament, and then we start the season. Got West Ham, Everton, Liverpool. That's a tough month of September. Okay, well, we'll take a look at this in a sec. What we're going to do is we are going to sim the month of July. I got some scouting reports coming in shortly. So then, okay, I'm going to sim the month of July, and then we'll take a look at the transfers, the players being brought in on transfer in this summer window. So the first player we'll be bringing in from free agency is Matty Longstaff. The second signing will be Robert Marich, another free agent. So we've bolstered or made some depth moves for the midfield with both our free agent signings. And now our big signing of this one will be Trevor Chalobah from Chelsea. They have 3 guys in front of him that are 85 rated or higher. So this was a big target. And you'll notice it's not a right back, and we're going to take a look at that in a second for the reason why. But here's our big signing, Trevor Chalobah. All right, so we saw the players that came in. Here are the ones that left. Jamie Sterry did leave on a permanent. He wanted more money, but honestly, we were about to replace him anyway. So he was sold for just under £1 million. Wilkinson actually went out on loan to Brentford. We brought in Marich and Matty Longstaff. Saïd Ibrahim again went on loan to SC Braga. He's actually developing pretty well, to be honest. He's actually almost at 70 right now. Nuzlocks Kaya was sold to Ajax for £8.4 million. It didn't go towards our selling youth academy players, but it's still a nice chunk that was brought in for him. And then Green and Kundal went out on loan to Platense and Bournemouth respectively. So we said we're going to target a right back in the transfer window, but when I simmed the month of July and started into August, I got this update from Pedro Lima, whose potential is 84 to 94, and he's already better than Sterry. So we're going to try him out immediately. We're going to promote him to the senior team, and we're just going to put him in the starting lineup. Hopefully that could he'll get some good performances. He'll grow really quickly, but that potential of 84 to 94 is the highest I've seen, me personally, so far in FIFA 23. I've got a lot of guys who, like, the window was in between 86 and 92, but I've never had an 84 to 94, especially after like 6 months of scouting. So we're going to go ahead and promote Diogo Cabral for the moment as well. And we'll start scouting probably 2/3 of the way through this season. But for now, we're going to promote him to the senior team as well. And those are our 2 promoted youth academies. We got it all out of the way very, very quickly. So next, we'll go take a look at the team. So now with all the improvements and departures, this is what the team looks like. We've downgraded a little bit at the center attacking midfield position, but I'm confident in McAtee to fill the hole that was left by Nuzlocks Kaya. Hopefully he can continue to grow as well. We're leaving Schneider in for now. We have Longstaff and Marich on the bench, who will definitely get some game time as well. Chalobah has stepped in at center back position alongside Tyrone Mings. And Mings is wearing the captain's band, as you can see for now, as Rogers and Nyland will be splitting time as well. So this is the team we're going to go with. We still have, I believe it's 18 million in the bank for a big move we can bring in the January transfer window, but this will be the team going forward. As we can see, Lima has slotted in right away to that right back position. So yeah, without any further ado, let's go take a look at the schedule before we jump into the highlights. So to start the season, we have, actually, we'll take a look at this. The preseason tournament did not go well. As you can see, there are 3 losses. We did get some goals, but we were scored on quite a bit. So hopefully we can improve on that. We have West Ham, Everton, and Crystal Palace. You can't see there behind my box, but Crystal Palace is there. Brighton, Liverpool, Chelsea. Tough month of September. Into Wolves, Burnley, Arsenal. November has Manchester United, Brentford, Newcastle, and Leicester. And then in December, very busy month, especially compared to the rest, but we have Aston Villa, Southampton, Tottenham, Leeds, Man City, Nottingham Forest, and Brighton again. So that's the first half of the season, what that looks like. Now we will get into the highlights and see how we're doing midway through the season. And like I forget to do at the beginning of every season, I gotta show you the new jerseys. So we've we still stay with the Lakers purple and gold alternate. The home is this new black and yellow kit. And then the away is black with the Lightning Thunderbolt. We stuck with Nike. Now let's get into the highlights. So getting into the highlights, we'll start the highlights off with the first game of the season against West Ham. West Ham would get on the board early as Joe Gomez would play a ball into Thomas Lamar, who slots it by Theo Rogers, making his first start in the Premier League to make it 1-0. Wakefield would get level when McAtee would score his first and the first ever goal for Wakefield FC in the Premier League to make it 1-1. But it just wasn't Wakefield's day, as Silva would step up and dink a penalty past Rogers to give West Ham the 2-1 win. After a very boring 0-0 draw with Everton to see Wakefield get their first point, next game was against Crystal Palace, and Harry Winks would chip the ball to Dapo Afolayan, and Dapo would send it back in where Ollie Burke gets to the ball first and puts it past the Palace keeper, making it 1-0, earning Miroslav Klose and Wakefield FC their first win in the Premier League. Next up, it would be a home fixture against Brighton, and another 0-0 game that would come down to the wire as Carrasco was subbed for a penalty, but Rodgers makes a huge save, earning his side a point at the death and a 0-0 draw against Brighton. Wolves would be next for Wakefield, as the game at the Molineux saw Adama Traore eventually find Ivana Sunic, I hope I'm saying that right, probably didn't, puts it past the Wakefield keeper, and that's how this one would end, 1-0 for Wolves. Another big matchup for Wakefield this time would be taking on Newcastle United, and we would be getting a goal here as Winks would initially be saved, but gets the ball across, and Ollie Burke with a great backheel finish to make it 1-0 Wakefield, and that is how that one would end. Big result for Wakefield. And in the last game of the highlight pack, we're now at the Amex Stadium as Wakefield looked to get a win against Brighton. And who else would it be but Ollie Burke in the 87th minute, scoring past the Brighton keeper and giving Wakefield yet another 1-0 win. Let's see where we are in the table. So after 20 games for the season, we are currently in 11th position. That seems like it's fantastic, which it is, because we're just trying not to be relegated at the moment. But at the same time, we're only 4 points clear of 18th place Wolves. And you cannot see behind my name, behind my camera here. Let me take that away for a second. But Arsenal are in last without a win yet, which is absolutely crazy to see. Let's go check out the stats halfway through the season. So leading the way for our club is, of course, Ollie Burke. It's been like that forever. You saw in that last game highlight, he stole 3 points for us against Brighton, which was key. We have Afolayan, who's got 7 goal contributions, McAtee with 3 goals, Matty Longstaff with 3 goals, which is nice to see. Shalaba's chipped in with 1, Winks got 1, Connor Bradley's got 1 all the way down here. Quick note on Robert Marich, he's requested a transfer. He's not getting the amount of games he thinks he should, with only 6 there, you can see. Leading the way in assists is Connor Bradley with his first full season up at right wing. He seems to be doing pretty well as he's gone up 1. And leading the way in clean sheets, it's a team effort here. Hold on, let me just go back and get my position. Theo Roger has 5 clean sheets, and Nyland has 3 for a combined 8, which is good. It's keeping us in some games, and like I said, they are splitting the almost 50-50 the games played so far. And one last thing I want to take a look at, and it's Wilkinson over here has already gone up 4 overall points while on loan to Brentford, so that loan move is definitely working. So that's what we're going to call it on this episode. If you haven't already, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. Leave a comment down below of where you want to see me improve, because again, we still need a lot of improvement, but hey, we're currently sitting 11th and we'll definitely take that. So as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next episode coming soon.